Welcome back, Truth Seeker. If you're new here, this is going to be a caller-friendly program. You might want to jot down this number. And please don't call if you have a question until I'm done with the presentation. But if there's just something you want to share along the way, you got some awesome nugget, that would be the reason to call in. When I'm done with the presentation, which is going to take a little bit because there's a ton of information here, that would be a good time to call in and ask for a question if you didn't see me cover something. But the number you want to jot down if you want to make a call is 509-731-0567. So one more time, 509-731-0567. And let's get into it. So the race is May 4th, the 124th day of the year, leaving 241 days remaining. And the storyline is Bob Baffert, who's won the 2 Triple Crowns by the numbers in recent years. His full name is Robert A. Baffert, which equals 241. And he's attempting to become the second trainer in history to win 6 times at the Kentucky Derby. If he does so, he'll do it at age 66. And we've seen this twice in sports recently. We saw Nick Saban get his 6th championship at age 66 by the numbers. And then we saw Bill Belichick get his 6th Super Bowl as a head coach at age 66 in the same stadium Nick Saban did it. And by the way, Coach K, something for the future. Coach K next year can get his 6th championship. He won't be 66 years old, but he can get his 6th championship in the same building that Nick Saban and Bill Belichick did. Next year's college basketball championship is in the Georgia Stadium where they play football. Also, Duke Blue Devils equals 82, and next year will be the 82nd March Madness. So if you're here today, that's a little bonus nugget for the future. If you want to put a future on the Blue Devils, I think it's worth a chip. Anyway, Robert A. Baffert, 241. Now, 241 is the 53rd prime number. We're going to talk about how 2 of his horses have Gematria 53, and his 3rd horse has Gematria 48, which is also the date numerology. So all 3 of his horses connect to the date, and 2 connect to his name. And again, the day of the year, leaving 241 days remaining. So date numerology to write down. If you're following along, you might want to pull out a pencil and piece of paper and just take some notes. I'm gonna have all this information available to you, so it's not like it's going anywhere. But I'm telling you, if you write while you go along, things will stick in your head better. We're gonna cover a lot of numbers. So 48 date numerology 21. Hey, by the way, 21 is the 6th triangular number. That means if you add 1 through 6 together, it equals 21. Good day to get number 6. And what's interesting about the lesser date numerology of 28 is if you add 1 through 7 together, it equals 28. And if the favorite wins this year, it'll be the 7th year in a row that the favorite won. So just making notes here. 7th triangular number. Fave going for 7 straight. Okay. Favorite horse, that is. All right, so the Patriots are going to be there. This article right here, let me show you this article. This article right here from ESPN calls Bob Baffert the New England Patriots of the Kentucky Derby. And keep in mind the Patriots just won Super Bowl 53 where Bill Belichick got his 6th championship at age 66. So I don't think that's any accident. Patriots equals 53 in Gematria. In case you're new here, Patriots 53, Los Angeles 53. Before the season began, we had a good feeling the Super Bowl would be the Patriots and the Rams rematch. And anyhow, so here's some things. I don't know if this is big enough on your screen. I hope it is. If you're looking on your cell phone, it might be tough. What's interesting is if you write out Churchill Downs, Louisville, Kentucky, in the most pure cipher, that's the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, it equals 145. Like how this year is the 145th edition of the race. So, to me, that signifies that something special is going to happen. Like perhaps somebody, tying the all-time record with 6 championships. Okay? So some other numbers up here. The 179, that's the 41st prime. We're going to see some 179s as we go through this. 197 is the 45th prime. The race is on May 4th. The majority of the world writes that date 4/5, kind of like 45. Something else that's worth mentioning is Louisville equals 134. If you're new here, that's a number we've been looking at a lot this year. There's something called Tisha B'Av, which should be very festive this year. Tisha B'Av equals 134. That date's going to fall on August 11th. One of the jockeys that Baffert has going has an August 11th birthday. Also, one of the favorite horses outside of Baffert's for a lot of people who are betting on this and hyping up putting out picks is Code of Honor. Code of Honor, what's interesting about that horse is its name equals 118. It's going to be racing 118 days after the trainer's birthday, and 118 is a bit like August 11th to 11/8. So that's one of the horses outside of Baffert that I got my eye on. We're going to talk about all the horses, but just throwing some things your way. Churchill Downs equals 74. One of Baffert's jockeys is going to be going for his 74th career win, for a first place finish 74 days from his birthday. So when we get to Baffert's horses, you're going to see how interesting it is. Notice Churchill Downs is also 70. Let me check it here. It'll be bigger, I think. Churchill Downs. You see the 70 and 74? One of Baffert's jockeys is going for his 70th first place finish. Another one is going for his 74th, 74 days from his birthday. And the thing about 70 is Kentucky Derby is also 70. So that's a big deal. But it's going to make it tough to say, which one's going to win? But obviously, as we're going to get to, those are the two I'm favoring because of how amazing that alignment is. One going for the 74th, the other going for the 70th. Yeah, so anyway, some notes. There's only going to be 19 horses going in this race. 19 for 2019. We had the scratch of the favorite, Omaha Beach, by the numbers. Omaha Beach equals 51. He was scratched May 1st, 5-1. The other horse that just got scratched is Heichel. So what they're doing is they're going to have no horse run in lane 1. Lane 1's going to be open, and the other 19 horses are going to start lane 2 through lane 20, or post 2 through post 20. So the horse in the second post will be wearing the number 1. The horse in the 20th post will be wearing the number 19. So 19 horses going for 2019. Keep in mind, 19's the 8th prime number. We're going to take a peek at post 8, 19, the 8th prime number. That could be a post to watch. It's not one of Baffert's horses, but it's another one of the horses that's a favorite. But the cause of the problem with Omaha Beach was called entrapped epiglottis or something like that, which equals 96. The other horse that got pulled is Heichel, which equals 42. Remember, Freemason 96-42. Freemasonry controls the world of sports, rigs it by the code. This is who's behind it. So Omaha Beach pulled on 5-1 by the numbers. Probably all part of the Baffert ritual. Maybe that was the kind of horse you just can't slow down. So anyway, the odds when I started finishing up the decode this morning, this is how they were looking. Game winner 9-2, Roadster 5-1, Improbable 5-1. Earlier in the week, these horses were 6-1. Remember, Baffert's going for 6. Maximum Security, Jimmy Fallon just did a joke on his show for the horse race, and in their joke, maximum security won. Might be something to tuck away. I seen a lot of horse guys saying they really like this horse, Tacitus. Code of Honor has a very interesting riddle. Again, this is the 118 horse. We've seen a lot of 118 champions this year. Patriots equals 118, Virginia Cavaliers 118. We've seen a lot of golfers with the 118 connection finish strong. The Columbus Blue Jackets, I mean, I don't think they're going to win the Stanley Cup, but they did sweep the #1 seed in the opening round of the playoffs. Columbus Blue Jackets 118. Code of Honor 118, racing 118 days after the trainer's birthday. So remember that. Win, win, win. I hear a lot of people hyping this horse. War of Will, 15-1. By my standards, 15-1. This horse right here that's 20-1 tax, we're going to get to, it has some interesting numbers. It does. Vacoma, Plus K Parfait, Cutting Humor, Heichel got cut. You know, this horse that got inserted, Boat Express, has some interesting numbers, as we'll get to too. He's got the Triple Crown jockey running on it. So some of these long shots could be worth a small bet just because they got some interesting numbers. So we'll get to it. The gematria of the horses, it's not always real important. Last year Justify, which one had a real strong connection to Kentucky. Look at Justify in Kentucky in the 4-base ciphers. Perfect overlap 110, perfect overlap 29, perfect overlap 43. But if you go through the years of Kentucky Derby winners, it's not always that way. Justify was a special horse, obviously. So I'm just saying the gematria of the horse, it's not always super important. A lot of times it'll connect to the date. And again, game winner has that 53 connection. Again, we talked about how this race is on the day, leaving 241 days left in the year, the 53rd prime number. Robert A. Baffert, his full name's 241. So his favorite horse has the 53 gematria. His other horse, Roadster, has the 53 gematria. And Improbable has the 48 gematria. And the race is on a date with 48 numerology. So again, all three of his horses have the perfect name for the date of the race. And one other thing that stands out about Roadster is the name sums to 46. Catholic equals 145 and 46. Could be some sort of Catholic connection. So again, the Jesuits or the Masons within the Catholic Church, they have a lot of influence in sports too. I don't know. Maybe that's something we could look up. If Baffert's Catholic, could be worth considering. But anyway, his horses named accordingly. Maximum Security. Notice that horse, its name equals 70, like Kentucky Derby, 70, like Churchill Downs, 70. So Maximum Security has a very interesting name. Okay? That's another favorite with a very interesting name. Tacitus, the name, nothing screams out about the name other than the 96 and 51. And the reason that I want to notice that, unless they scratched, if it hadn't been for the scratch of Omaha Beach, because Omaha Beach equals 51, and it was scratched with the reasoning for it being out with the reasoning had the 96 gematria. So I'm just thinking, okay, is that some sort of tip for this horse? Is this horse going to place a little bit better? Or and I do hear a lot of experts that are big on that horse. So we're going to be going through a lot of things. These are just notes to tuck away right now. Again, here's Code of Honor with that 118 number, a hot number this year. Code of Honor also has the 53 connection, like the date. And again, it's racing 118 days after the owner's birthday. And the other thing about Code of Honor is its name equals 179 as well, like Churchill Downs, Louisville, Kentucky. So it's got quite a name for the location and the date, and just because it has that hot number we've been seeing all year. Win Win's another horse with the 51 connection. Again, Omaha Beach scratched on 5-1. War of Will. What's interesting about War of Will is the 124, because this race is on the 124th day of the year. May 4th, the 124th day. By My Standards has that 48 connection. Again, we got a 48 date. Tax 45. And the date of the race can be written 4/5. Tax also 9. 45 is the 9th triangular number. We're going to get to some other things that are interesting about that horse. It's one of the long shot horses, but it's got some interesting numbers. So I know a bunch of you guys are going to try different tickets, some long shot tickets, some favorite tickets. So just things to think about. Horses that connect to the date. Vekoma 67, that's the 19th prime. It's 2019. We got 19 horses running. Not a lot else jumps out about the name. Plus K Parfait does have the 74 thing. And Churchill Downs is 74. Let's see. Cutting Humor, another horse with the 74 connection. There's a reason these horses are in this race. It doesn't mean that they're going to place or finish. Every year you look at this, you're going to see, horses with the connection. So it's a matter of sorting through and seeing what riddle makes the most sense. Heichel's out. That horse isn't running. It did have the 48 connection, but it's gone. Long Range Toddy. Nothing really screamed out about that name. What was it about 161? There was something about 161. Or maybe I'm making that up. Okay, so nothing was jumping out about Long Range Toddy. Spin-off, not really seeing anything there with that name. Country House has the 67 connection, the 19th prime. Again, 19 horses running in 2019. This Boat Express that got inserted for Omaha Beach, notice it has the 53 connection. And it's going to have the Triple Crown jockey Mikey Smith riding it. So interesting that horse got put in. I saw a lot of experts say bet on Gray Magician. So this is the experts. This is like their favorite long shot horse. The thing about its name, the 216, if Baffert wins, and I suspect he will, he's going to get his 6th win at age 66. And by the way, the last trainer who got 6 wins did it in 1952. Did it in 1952. When you write out 6, it equals 52. And he did it 67 years ago, 52 to 2019. 67 years ago, that's the 19th prime. It's 2019. 19 horses are running. Notice 6 also equals 29, like Kentucky. And it equals 16, too. We're going to look at the horse in the 16th lane. But what I was going to say about the 216 is when you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, it equals 216. So maybe Gray Magician fits into the riddle of the 666 thing. It seemed to be the long shot horse that all of the experts have a consensus on, that it's the best bet to finish. See, it's 50 to 1. So, I mean, you don't even have to bet a lot to win anything. You can put $10 on it. If it placed, get a nice payday. So the 216 definitely stands out about that horse in light of the potential 666 riddle. Master Fencer 197, the 45th prime, also a horse with the 71 connection. Catholic equals 71, like 145. Long Range Toddy, I forgot to say that about the 71. 71's a big Catholic number. And if you're new here, you might be thinking, is this stuff real? Look, listen, I'm going to write Denver Broncos here for a reason. You see how Denver Broncos equals 71? Go back and look at this story. I'm going to write Catholic now. Catholic 71 and 145. Go back and look at how Jake Butt, the tight end, who was supposed to go in the first round, fell to the 145th pick of the draft to the Denver Broncos the day after Harbaugh visited the Vatican and Pope Francis of the Catholic Church. This is absolutely how the world of sports are scripted. This past year on the Jesuit order's birthday, the Pope's the first publicly Jesuit Pope, we got the story about how Jake Butt tore his ACL and was out for the season. Another hoax, another scripted sports riddle. So, anyway, yeah, these numbers, they are important. These riddles do come together all across the world of sports. Okay. So I'm going to use this website. Let me zoom this in. So this is what they're doing. They're leaving the first post empty because, again, they had two horses scratched, Omaha Beach and Heichel. They replaced one with the Express horse. Now, I noticed there's a discrepancy in what this website shows with the wins in the lane. So I wish that website, I think this website here is correct on some and wrong on others. So I'm going to use this website to just go along. So we don't have to worry about the first lane because no horse is running in it. So the horse that's here in the second lane is War of Will. And War of Will, that lane, both websites say there's been 7 winners in it. 7 winners. Okay, that's not one of Baffert's, but 7 winners. And then lane 3, it says there's been 5 winners. Here they agree, lane 3, 5 winners. And with the date, with the 53 connection, I'm thinking they probably stay at 5 winners in lane 3. But this tax horse, it is interesting. So by my standards, lane 4, this site says 5 winners. This site says 5 winners, so it's in agreement through that part. Lane 5, Gray Magician. This is the long shot. This is the 50 to 1, but it's in the most winningest lane of all time. And I don't think it's going to win this year. What's interesting is the next win in that lane will be the 11th all time. These sites are in agreement. Lane 5 with 10 winners. The next time will be the 11th, and 11's the 5th prime. If you ever see a horse in there with an 11 connection or a 5 connection, you know, if you just want to put a note away somewhere for the future, or a 55 connection, that could be a good sign. But that is the most winningest lane of all time, and this year it's got the long shot in it. So here's improbable, and we're going to talk about how interesting improbable is. The Washington Post put out an article. Let me see where I linked it at. The Washington Post, where's that article at? Maybe I have it down further. I must have it down further. We'll get to it when we get there, but the Washington Post did put out an article, and they said Improbable will win the race. And Improbable is a very interesting horse, as we're going to get to when we look at the jockey. This website says lane 6 has won 2 times. This site is in agreement there as well. With the Patriots connection and comparing Baffert to the Patriots, think about how Tom Brady just became 6-3 in Super Bowls. Remember, it was his 307th career game in the Super Bowl. It was in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which equals 307, which is the 63rd prime, and Tom Brady became 6-3. And the night before in college basketball, the George Mason Patriots lost with 63 points. And remember, George Mason Patriots equals 237, and Tom Brady got his 237th career win in the Super Bowl. So it really is how scripted it all is. But it does have me thinking about the Brady 6-3 riddle and the fact that, you know, Baffert's going for number 6. This is one of his horses. 6-3, 3-6, 6-6-6, the 36th triangular number. So this 6 and 3 thing is very interesting. So I would say you got to put in a ticket with improbable as your winner in one of them. And again, we're going to go over all of Baffert's horses. I really do think you should probably do a ticket with each of Baffert's horses as a winner, just in case, you know, it's the least likely one that we suspect. We're going to get to why 2 look better than the other one. But this improbable horse, very interesting. And again, Washington Post did put out an article saying improbable will win the Derby. And it might be an in-your-face, here's how rigged it is type of thing. Okay, so lane 7, 7 winners in lane 7. How nice is that? Lane 8, both websites are in agreement there. Lane 8, 8 winners in each. It is 2019. 19 is the 8th prime. Both websites agree here. We're going to get to where the discrepancies are. They are here. Lane 9. Lane 9. Both with 4 winners. Nothing screams out to me about that. Lane 10, both with 9 winners. They're both in agreement there. Lane 11, both with 2 winners. That's an agreement. Lane 12. 3 wins here, 3 wins here, okay. Lane 13, in light of this whole 6-6-6 thing going on, we don't have a Baffert horse here, so I don't think this lane's going to win, but this would be a lane to watch because 13 is the 6th prime number, so could be something with all the numbers relating to 6. 13 does have 5 winners, so the next winner there will be the 6th, 13, the 6th prime. We don't have a Baffert horse, though, so I don't think that's going to be the lane. Lane 14, 2 winners. They're in agreement here. Let's see. So here's where the discrepancy is. This screwed me up, too, because I was using this website at first, but then I found out other websites all disagreed. So this website says lane 15 has 5 winners, but everywhere else on the web says that this lane's won 3 times. So that's one of Baffert's lanes, game winner. That's the favorite horse, and it's not really going for the 6th win. It's going for the 4th win. The only thing that it gets a little abstract to think about this. So okay, look at this. Baffert's horses are in lane 6. He's going for 6. Lane 15, the numerology of 15 is 6. 1 + 5 is 6. And his other horse is in lane 16. And remember how we just had Super Bowl 53 and the score was 13-3, 16 points. 53 is the 16th prime, so you get 16 points in Super Bowl 53. And Tom Brady got his 6th Super Bowl ring, and when you write out 6, it equals 16. So this lane 16 is very interesting. And again, 6 also equals 29, like Kentucky, where the Derby is. The last guy to win 6 at the Kentucky Derby did it in 52. So what I'm saying is all of his horses are in lanes with 6 connections. Lane 6, lane 15, which has a numerology of 6, 1 + 5, 6. And when you write out 6, it equals 16. So we couldn't get any more 6-6-6 with Bob Baffert's horses here. And again, he's going for his 6th win at age 66. It says here lane 16 has 4 wins. Here it says lane 16 has 5 wins. And every other site seems to agree that lane 16 has 5 wins, which also means that lane 16 could get the 6th win this year. So when you write out 6, it equals 16. 53 is the 16th prime number. The race is on the day leaving 241 days left in the year, the 53rd prime number. So you see how nicely that all goes together? So So the horse that's in this lane is Roadster. And out of the three jockeys, Roadster has the least interesting jockey. And the jockeys are usually big in these riddles. But in terms of the lane, Roadster has the most interesting lane. And don't forget that Roadster equals 53, the 16th prime number. So this is why you're going to have to put in a ticket for each of his horses. The other two jockeys have the riddle, but Roadster has the lane. I so wish one of the other jockeys was in this lane, because then I'd be like, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. I've just been listening to experts. Not that experts' opinions really matter, but almost all of them seem to be in consensus that Roadster's the least likely of Baffert's horses to win. So that said, it does have the lane. And every site says lane 16's won 5 times except for this one. So, okay. Lane 17, it's never produced a winner. Never. Interesting, because 17 is such a special number to the Masons. Masons 17. Modern Freemasonry began in 1717. Freemasonry equals 59 the 17th prime. If there's ever a horse in there with be interesting to go over the history of it. If there was ever a horse in there with a 59 connection, I'd be on the lookout. So okay. So lane 18, 2 winners, 19, 1 winner. It's interesting because it's kind of like 191. 191 is the 43rd prime. Kentucky equals 43. Lane 20. You don't want to be on the outside of the track because you have to run further. That's why there's less winners on the outside. Except for in Sweet 16. And that's probably all about the rigging. Oh, yeah. That's the other point I wanted to make about 16. All Baffert's horses are in, what do they call it? Barn 33. If you write out 16, it equals 33. So his horses are in barn 33. Also the horse that got the favorite Omaha Beach, which got sidelined on 5-1, the cause of the sitting out, that whatever was wrong with the horse, that equaled 96 we covered. In Omaha Beach 51, it took a seat on 5-1. So okay. So out of these lanes, just to go over it again, all of Baffert's horses have a 6th connection. And I'm going to be shocked if Baffert doesn't get his 6th win at the Kentucky Derby. I mean, just everything lines up. You know, from the last guy to do it, to the date, to the horse names, to Robert A. Baffert's name. So, you know, I'm definitely favoring the Baffert horses. Of course, they are the top 3 favorites. But there's reason to believe in the numbers that this is going to happen. And then some of the more interesting horses outside of that, Maximum Security running in that lane 8. Again, it is 2019. You got 19 horses. 19's the 8th prime. Maximum Security has the 70 Gematria, like Kentucky Derby, like Churchill Downs. So that's a very interesting horse outside of Baffert. This Tacitus, even though it's in lane 9, remember they're skipping lane 1. So Tacitus will be wearing the number 8. So that makes that horse interesting as well. His name, the horse's name, Gematria, is not as tight for the location. But the fact that it has the 96 and 51 connection, which were the numbers on the Omaha Beach riddle, and that horse was the favorite, it makes that horse very interesting to me. And then Coda Honors in lane 12, which nothing really screams out about that lane in terms of this year's race. But I just like that horse because of the 118 thing and what we've documented this year in sports, that its name's 118, that it's going 118 days after the trainer's birthday. Oh, I forgot to make a point too. If Baffert's horse in lane 15, game winner, which is the favorite, won, it would be the fourth time a horse won in that lane. So the fourth time in lane 15, think about those numbers like if you shuffled them around, because this is the 145th Triple Crown, right? 154, 145, it's all the same digits. And the other thing about 4 is when you add 1 through 4 together, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, it equals 16. And we just got done talking about 16. So there's some interesting things there. Okay, so all right, let's go through the jockeys now. So the favorite. Oh, we got a call here. Let me take this call. Caller?
Yes, hi. I appreciate the information you're giving us. I just wanted to say I did a breakdown of all the owners' names with their horses. And Improbable, I was looking at Improbable. The owner as a corporation of Improbable is Starlight Racing. I'm sorry, Windstar Farm, pardon me, Windstar Farm, Winstar Farm. That's a corporation. The individual who runs the corporation, his name is Kenny Trout, Troutt. And I noticed that the full reduction number 48 and reverse full reduction 60 matches Improbable's name.
Huh. And that goes with the date numerology, that 48. So very interesting. I did not check that. So great observation. I appreciate that. You did that for all the horses. Did anything else jump out?
The owners for Cutting Humor, the corporation is Starlight Racing, and the owners are a husband and wife team, Jack and Laurie, Laurie, Wolf, 1F. They have the first 3 numbers matching perfectly, 166, 76, and 239. The last number 95 for Jack, and Laurie is 104.
And which horse were they with again?
Cutting Humor.
Cutting Humor, okay.
The owners are Jack and Laurie Wolf, Laurie, that's his wife, Wolf, Wolf.
Okay.
And the horse, they're, without Laurie's name, it would just be simply Jack's name with no matching numbers.
I see.
Oddly enough, Laurie and Jack have the same first 3 numbers, but not the last 4 numbers. That doesn't match the horse's name, though.
I see.
But I did see that there are some horses that have a single-digit matching number between some of the horses. But I don't know how that would relate to maybe putting them into an exacta, like 1 and 2. But I'm more intrigued by Improbable with his numbers 9348 17760, matching up with the owner Kenny Trout, 2 T's. His numbers are 18348 11460.
Okay, well, I think that's great because Improbable is a very interesting horse, and I like Improbable a lot too. So awesome, I appreciate that.
One other horse I did see, but it's probably a thin association by my standard. The owner is Chester Thomas, and his corporation is Allied Racing Stable. The first number 154 matches on both of those. Chester Thomas and Allied Racing Stable.
Okay. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, that was a good thought to look at that. So I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, take care. All right, so check this out for the favorite game winner. You see how the jockey, Joel Rosario, his name equals 137. That's the 33rd prime. Again, Baffert has his horses in stable 33. And keep in mind the numerology breakdown of 33 is 3 plus 3 is 6, the theme here. So 137, the 33rd prime. You see the 56 in his name? Kentucky. Or am I making things up? Kentucky Derby, that's what it is. Kentucky Derby has the 56 connection, also 70. And remember, Churchill Downs is 70 as well. So Kentucky Derby, Churchill Downs, both 70. Coming back to his name has the 70 connection. Let Let me just type it here. It's probably bigger and easier to see if I type it here. So you see how his name's 56 and 70, like Kentucky Derby? And not only that, but from his birthday to the race is 110 days later. Kentucky's 110. And not only that, but if he wins, it's going to be his 70th first place finish of all time. He's at 69 first place finishes right now. Come on, website. Here we go. So here's his career placements. 69 firsts. The next one is 70. I mean, if he wins, you couldn't have scripted it any better. And this would be the 7th year in a row, the favorite one. 70 breaks down to 7 in numerology. So you gotta put in a chip for this horse. I know it's the favorite. That's not the one you'd want to win because it pays the least. But I mean, it just couldn't be a better alignment. The favorite horse easily has the best alignment. And don't forget the name of the horse goes with the date too. And goes with Robert A. Baffert. So, I mean, you just can't. You couldn't script it any better, literally. By the way, Bob Baffert also 77, 7 straight years of first placers. 3 of those would be his horses. 3 7s. Okay, so I think I made my point there. For Baffert, his birthday is January 13th, 113, you know, Scottish right number. He's born in 53. For another thing for him, remember his full name equals 241. The day leaving 241 days left in the year, the 53rd prime. Game winner equals 53. And he's got 2 horses with the 53 connection. Game winner and Roadster. Roadster 53. And then the other horse, Improbable, which is very interesting horse. We have 48 date numerology. So, okay, so that's the favorite. And there's not going to be any jockey that has an alignment anywhere near as good as that. There's going to be some other interesting ones, but nothing like that. And remember the horse again that won last year, Justify, a 110. Kentucky's 110, 29, 43, just like Justify. Okay. So again, Baffert's trying to tie Ben A. Jones. And Ben A. Jones set the record with 6 at the Kentucky Derby in the year 52. When you write out 6, it equals 52. It's 67 years later, the 19th prime. It's 2019. 19 horses going. So the riddles are all right there. He died June 13th, the 6th month, the 13th day, 13, the 6th prime. Wouldn't say that was a coincidence. Didn't I have some other note here? Okay. I guess not. Oh yeah. When he won his 6 Kentucky Derbies, he won them between 1938 and 1952. No, I did something wrong there. I must have been looking at too many numbers. Scratch. He won them. So from the first to the last was 14 years later. Kentucky does equal 43, the 14th prime. It would also be a span of 15 years. 15 has that numerology of 6. Okay. All right. So here's the Roadster jockey. Looks like a French guy. The one thing that stands out about him is the 6-3 thing, the 6-3. Because again, that reminds me of how, you know, Tom Brady just became 6-3 in Super Bowls. He's going to be in attendance. His name's not nearly as interesting, but from his birthday to the race, it's 292 days or a span of 293 after his last birthday, and I don't think that's a prime number. Let me check that real quick. Oh, it is. It's the 60-second prime. Okay, the 60-second prime. Okay. Yeah, but what's most interesting about him is that his upcoming birthday is a span of 74 days away, and his next race is will be his he has 73 first. His next will be 74, and as we talked about early in the Decode, it's that Churchill Downs, when you flip the alphabetic order around, is 74. So he could get his 74th win, a span of 74 days from his birthday at Churchill Downs. So it almost seems like they rigged it, like in case there's too much money on one horse, then they can go with their alternate riddle. Because it's just amazing how it lines up. It's just amazing. The deck is stacked. All right. So improbable. Now here's the improbable riddle. Again, improbable has a great riddle. Notice improbable. His jockey, Irad Ortiz Jr. in the most pure cipher, 67. That's the 19th prime number. Again, it's been 67 years since we had a triple, or not a triple crown winner. 67 years since somebody won 6 Kentucky Derbies. And again, 67 is the 19th prime. It's 2019. You have 19 horses running. His name also equals 77, like Bob Baffert. Oh, by the way, Bob equals 19. How could I forget that Bob equals 19? Okay, so, I mean, the riddles for all of his guys are just so interesting. And as you're going to see, they're the most interesting riddles out of all the jockeys. So this is why I'm going to be shocked if he doesn't take it home. Now, notice his birthday is August 11th. And for those of you who are new here, you're going to be like, well, so what? Well, we've been talking about the significance of August 11th since September of 2018 in terms of this year, August 11th, 2019. And again, that's going to be the date of Tisha B'Av, and Tisha B'Av has gematria of 134, like the race, Louisville, the location. Louisville's got the 134 connection. Oh, shoot, Louisville's also 62. That was the 62 piece I was missing. Okay. I was overlooking that 62 thing. Okay, so there is some rhyme and reason to 293, the 62nd prime. Louisville 62. Okay. So that's him. But anyway, August 11th, you know, it could be a very special day this year. The world of sports is often synced up with big events. We're expecting a big event that weekend, August 10th or 11th. The other jockey that got substituted in, the Triple Crown guy, I think his birthday is August 10th, as we'll get to. But this guy's last birthday to the race was 266 days earlier. We're in the time of the 266th Pope. Again, Catholics 145. So there is something interesting to the way his birthday lines up with this race as well. His next win total is not as interesting, though. His next win total is 133. In light of the Patriots being there, football does equal 133. If it's some riddle like that, you know, they just won Super Bowl 53. This race has a lot to do with 53. But the other two jockeys, their riddles are definitely more interesting because of the win total that they're going for. Him going for 133 just isn't quite as intriguing. So... Oh, but wait a minute. There is something very interesting about him outside of that 133. He has won 35 major events. He's won 35 major events coming into this. 133 horse races all time, but 35 majors. If he did win, he would get his 36th and 666 is the 36th triangular number. Again, Baffert going for number 6 at age 66. And 666 and 36 are peas in a pod. So that was the win stat that really stands out for him. Here he is right here, 132 firsts, 131 seconds, 81 thirds. I mean, this guy wins a lot. This guy's a winner. So that's improbable. It's improbable. Now, Maximum Security is definitely one of the more interesting horses that's not in Baffert's lineup. The trainer, Jason Service, he has the 74 and 70 connection, like Churchill Downs. He also has the 43 connection, like Kentucky. So he's got some numbers, this man. And, you know, I guess I can do this in real time. I actually should have done more with these guys' stats. I focused so much on Baffert that I didn't look at the other trainers. So here we can just pull it up as we go. He's got 51 firsts, 36 seconds, 24 thirds. So not quite the numbers we're looking for. Not the numbers that go with the race. Okay. His what's interesting about this jockey's birthday is 351's the 26th triangular number, and the race is going to be on his 351st day of his age, which is 26. So his 27th birthday is upcoming. So, and 26 is special. If you haven't read my book, for all of you guys who are new here and who signed up for today's presentation, be sure to check this Patreon page after I'm done. And by the way, since you guys signed up, you don't just get today's thing. You're here for a month at least, unless you want to continue to sign up. You're going to get all the sports picks for the rest of the month. But after I'm done with this presentation, I'm going to put a post up on the Patreon page. So when you go back to patreon.com, the way Patreon works is every time I post, it just moves down. The newest post becomes the top. Oh, whoops. Hold on. What I'm saying is I'm going to post the book, and you'll be able to download it. If you signed up for this, if you're watching this right now at the $5 tier, you're going to be able to download the entire book. It's an 800-page ebook. You don't have to read the whole book. If you read the first 50 pages, you'll be a world ahead. But the first chapter is about the significance of 26, big number in sports. It's just going to become the top post. There'll just be a link to download the book, so I'll put that up there when we're done. My appreciation for you signing up for this presentation and learning this information. But anyway, this guy being 26, what I'm trying to say, it's a really special number. So in his 351st day of his age, hey, case in point with the Super Bowl, we just saw number 26 score the only touchdown of the game, Sony Michel, to give the AFC its 26th Super Bowl. And he did that 351 days after his birthday. He had the same birthday as Jordan. Jordan equals 26. You know, they call Jordan the GOAT. Anyway, lots of riddles, special numbers. Also, what's interesting about this guy is he comes in with 124 career wins. It makes me think he's not going to win because this race is on the 124th day of the year. But it is very interesting that he comes in with those 124 wins. So, May 4th, the 124th day. Okay. Okay. So another horse that a lot of experts think has a shot, Tacitus. Some interesting things going on here with the jockey. The jockey has that 56 name like Kentucky Derby, and 56, and also 106. Kentucky's 106. So this jockey has some interesting numbers for the race. The way things line up with his birthday, not as interesting. He has 69 third place finishes. if he got third place, he'd get his 70th third place finish in Kentucky Derby 70 and Churchill Downs is 70. So on one of your cards, I think this might be a good horse to pick to finish third or to place. I think a shot at third place is very real for this horse. It's also got the interesting lane position as well. So I won't be shocked if this horse finishes in third. Should add these notes here. And I'm going to post these notes after with all the updates so you can comb them over. There's a lot to think about. You don't have to place your bet until just before the race, and it'd probably be good to wait. Just wait up until as long as you can, because you're going to find out what the track conditions are tomorrow. You're going to hear people, putting stats on the screen. I mean, if you watch this tonight and you're taking notes, tomorrow when you're watching the pre-coverage all day, you're going to see some numbers put on the screen that are going to make you go, wait a minute, that's the number we were talking about last night. Maybe there's something about, an off track, because they're saying it could be a messy track tomorrow. So those of you who take notes and pay attention tomorrow are going to do well. They're always putting clues on the screen. If you watch the TV, listen to the radio, you're going to hear numbers that you're going to be like, wait a minute, covered that number. I know about that number. All right, let me check out. As we go through this, I just want to take the extra time to look at the owners. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Just to see what kind of wins they have. I only looked at Baffert or trainer. I keep saying owner, I mean trainer. So he's going for 28. Okay. He's going for 28 wins. Tomorrow does have a lesser 28 date numerology. I don't think he's going to get, I don't think he's getting first place, but I'm just going to make the note here too. He is going for his 28th first place finish, 28 date numerology. That's the lesser method, the least important one. It's good to make the note. Okay, Code of Honor. Now this horse, it's got a very interesting alignment. It's got the 67 connection with the jockey. The jockey's named 67. Again, that's the 19th prime, 19 horses running. Nothing screams out about the trainer. Let's also just look up the trainer's information, because he's got a very interesting. What in the world? Come on. Okay. I want to go through each trainer and just see how many wins they got. 13, 10, and 6. Now, if he won, he'd get his 14th, and Kentucky does equal 43, the 14th prime. Again, I'm going to be shocked if a Baffert horse doesn't win. But this is the horse. Code of Honor equals 118, as we covered. And from the owner's birthday to the race is 118 days later. He's going for his 14th first place finish. Kentucky equals 43, 14th prime. So I could see this horse placing, because 118's been a number this year. Be a horse to place. Okay. Let me just scroll up real quick. Were there any trainers that I skipped? We looked at this guy. There wasn't really anything interesting. The other guys were Baffert horses. Okay. All right. The jockey's 47 years old. Pretty old for a jockey. 47 is a special number of degrees on the Masonic compass. His last birthday was a span of 162 days ago. we're gonna talk about the recent winning horses. 162 is a number that's come up. He has 56 first. Kentucky Derby equals 56. So I don't think he would win it. You know, if he was at 55, that'd be more interesting. He does have 47 second place finishes, and he could get his 48th second place finish on a 48 date. This is the guy running on Code of Honor. Code of Honor. It's another horse that a lot of the experts are big on. So does have some interesting numbers. 118 name, 118 days after the trainer's birthday. Okay. Win, win, win. So this course has the 62 connection like Louisville. Or the jockey has the 62 connection like Louisville. The owner does have the 67 connection, again, the 19th prime number. He has 17 career first. He has 18 career seconds. He could get his 19th in 2019. Nothing really screams out about his birthday, the way it lines up. 271 days to his upcoming birthday. That's the 58th prime. Freemasonry's 58, but I don't see how that really lines up with this race this year. Let me try out looking up the trainer here to see if we can get his stats. So here he is, Michael Trombetta. He could get the owner could get his 19 third place finish too. Or the trainer, keep saying that wrong. Trainer could get his 19th third place finish 2019. So, well, it'd have to be one or the other. It's interesting how they both have a connection to 19. Again, there's 19 horses running, so that's a number to consider. And again, 67 years since 67, and his name's 67. But 67 years since a trainer got his 6th win. Okay, by my standards, Gabriel Saez. He's got the 51 thing, the Omaha Beach number, the scratch on 5-1. The trainer has the 74 connection, the Churchill Downs. Caller?
Yeah, Zach, it was Los Angeles, man. So far, man, I like the riddle of Game Winner, man, because Game Winner shares a 109 with first place, like the word first place, and also shares a 53. And lane 15, it has a date numerology of 28 and 82 as well. So I don't know, man. I like.
Wait. What were you just saying? Winner. What were you making the point though with the 15 and the 28 and 82? How did that go together?
Well, the 28 ain't that like a date numerology, like for 5-4? Ain't that a
yeah? It is a 28 date numerology, but how does it fit in with the 15?
Well, it's lane 15. Game Winner will be on lane 15.
Are you saying when you write out lane 15, it equals that?
That's correct. On the reverse ordeal, it equals 82.
I see what you're saying.
Reduction is 28.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, wait.
Well, thanks a lot for your input, Zach. This is very helpful, man. But,
I see you did it like that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, Game Winner's jockey's alignment is just like, okay, should we just give up? Should we just stop right there? Because I mean, the jockey's alignment just couldn't be any better. So.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Hey, one more thing, Zach. I hope you do something like this with Tiger, man, before his tournament on May 16th.
Well,
anyway, that's all I have, man.
Did you see? Hey. So all of you guys who are here, just so you know, you can scroll through all my Patreon posts. Did you see the video I just put out? Have you seen the 2 videos I put out on Tiger and the Grand Slam?
I sure did, man. You know where our money's going at on May 16th, man. Absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if we need to do any more, honestly, man. I don't want to jinx it. I feel like we should just leave it there. So.
Yeah, man. I think you overkilling it up there. If you ask me, man, you're overkilling it. But I think it can't be any more clear, Zach. It can't be no more clear than that.
All right.
But anyway, man.
All right. I appreciate it.
Zach.
All right. See you. Okay, so he was making the point that if you write out lane 15, if you write it out like this, it has the connection to 28 like the date. That is interesting. So okay. All right, by my standards, I was saying there wasn't a lot that screamed out here. The trainer has the 74 connection. By my standards, did it have the 74 connection too? Oh, it didn't. It had the 48 connection like the date. But nothing really screamed out about the birthday. He has 44 career first place. If this horse won, I mean, it would be a real long shot here. He could get his 45th career win on 4/5. But in light of these other riddles that we have, I mean, this riddle, it's pretty mediocre compared to some of these other things out here. So not crazy about it. Let me check out this guy here, Calhoun. Actually, oh, is it going to go? Sometimes this website's quick and sometimes it's just so slow. Here he is. All right, so we're looking up this trainer, Calhoun. We're taking a call here. Caller?
Yes, hi, Zach. I'm a little late to the chat, but have you mentioned the horse Tacitus yet?
I have. Yeah, that horse has got some interesting things.
If you look in the chat, I found a bunch of clues for him. I definitely think Game Winner is a good pick, but what's interesting was when Omaha Beach scratched, they said he scratched from entrapped epiglottis.
Right.
And entrapped epiglottis is 231.96, and Tacitus is 96.
Right.
And 21.
Right.
Which is the 231st try.
Right. Yeah, we covered those things. You're right on, and it does make that an interesting horse. That horse has a few other things going. I'm big on all of Baffert's horses. That's one of the horses though that I like to potentially place. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it connects to the clue, and also he's exactly 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days old, and 33 days from his last birthday.
Okay, I do have all that information. We still have a lot of stuff to go over, man. So, but
all right,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, I put it in the chat.
All right.
You could look at it there.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Zach.
Yeah, we're in for the long haul here. We still got a lot to look at. I went extra thorough. All right. This guy, his stats, nothing screaming out there about his potential wins. He could get his 33rd third place, but that doesn't go with the date or anything. What is interesting is that his upcoming birthday is in 8 days, and he's 54 years old. Because again, it's May 4th, 5/4. 19 is the 8th prime. It's 2019, but we just got better riddles. So. War of Will. And so War of Will, the only thing that stood out to me in terms of the numbers on the names here was the 67, again, the 19th prime number. Nothing real big here with the jockey's birthday, the way it lines up. He's at 75 career firsts. This guy is dominating 2019. He's won a lot of races this year. War of Will. I did hear a lot of experts say that they like this horse. I just noticed how much this guy was winning this year. Let me pull it up here real quick. And we'll take a peek at the trainer. But in 2019, he's got 75 firsts. 62 seconds, 86 thirds. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this guy's in a lot of horse races, so 6,336 horse races doesn't even seem possible. But anyway, I just noticed his numbers were gigantic. But in terms of the alignment with this one here, I don't really see anything that makes my eyeballs pop out. Let me look at his trainer. Okay. come back and look at that once it loads up. While we're waiting for it to load, we'll just move on to the next guy. Looks like it might have came up. Okay, so the trainer for that horse, the next second or third could be 29. Kentucky does equal 29. I mean, it's thought, but I guess I'll make a note of that here. $29 in that second or third place column. Vekoma. There was nothing in the numbers for the jockey or the trainer that went with the race. This guy's at 47 second place finishes. We do have a 48 date for a potential second place finish. You get his 48 second place on a 48 date. But I didn't see anything screaming out. So again, there's better riddles. Not big on anything I see there. George Weaver. Pull up some George Weaver information. Seven, 14, 14. Kentucky's 43. He's already at 14. So I just don't see it with his numbers. I don't see it there. Okay, tax. So the jockey has the 62 connection, like Louisville. The trainer has the 56 and 110 connection. Kentucky's 110. Kentucky Derby's 56. Kentucky Derby's also 187. So we got some guys that have numbers that connect to the location. His upcoming birthday, the jockey is in 16 days. Remember, there's a big 53 connection to this race. 53 is the 16th prime. He has 42 second place finishes, and Kentucky equals 43. So this is a long shot horse. I think it was the 20-1. But it's interesting, and I heard some experts saying this horse is real fast. If it gets the space, this horse just takes off. I heard an expert saying that. So I said this is the kind of horse that could surprise you. And then I was also just thinking about the horse's name being Tax. When we get to the day the horse was born, you'll see why it's called Tax. But if I remember right, the horse is also born on April 20th, which used to be Tax Day, and that's the 110th day of the year. And Kentucky's also 110. So we'll go over that. I'm going off memory, but I just remember some things were making me hum and haw about this Tax horse. And now Tax Day's April 15th, and that's a reshuffling 415 of this Kentucky Derby, the 145th. So there's definitely some interesting things here. And let me see if there's anything with the trainer. Really? Let's try this. All right, well, that loads. We'll move on. Oh, it came up fast. Okay, so this guy could get his 14th second place finish for 2019. And let's see here. I couldn't find his birthday. Kentucky, again, 43, the 14th prime. That's what's interesting about the potential 14 there. Okay. Spinoff. You see how the jockey's name, Manny Franco, is 124? This race is on the 124th day of the year. And also 56, Kentucky Derby 56. So just if you're going to fill out some, extra tickets with some long shots, these are just horses to think about. I don't think they have a chance of winning, but you just never know. The trainer also has the 67 connection. 67 is the 19th prime. Again, we got 19 horses going in 2019. The race is on the jockey's 137th day of his age. And jockey, if you use the rule for K, K has master numerology. Jockey's 33. So it is quite an alignment for a jockey and arguably the biggest horse race of the year. So, and again, race on the 124th day of the year. So this is an interesting horse here, spinoff. He's at 101 first. Let me put in this trainer's name and see if there's anything going with him. Whoops. He could get his 45th second on a date that's written 4/5. And his upcoming birthday is a span of 54 days, which is also kind of like the date. Okay, Heichel got scratched. That horse is out. That's why we're down to 19 horses. That was the latest scratch. Long range Toddy. Well, okay. Long range Toddy has the 46 thing going. Louisville's 46. 209 is kind of like 29 like Kentucky. I don't really want to get abstract. There's not a lot that lines up there. What's so interesting about this horse is that they have a 58-year-old jockey. They pointed out he'd be the oldest jockey to ever win. I think this is just a Freemasonry tribute. Freemasonry's 58, Secret Society 58, Rosicrucian 58, putting the 58-year-old John Cord out there. He has a 19 first in his career, so I don't think he goes past that in 2019. But not a lot screaming out there. This guy's born on the 322nd day of the year. He is 53. I can just look and you just never know. Just see if he has anything. Got 139 first this year, Freemasonry. He's got the 58-year-old jockey, 122 seconds, 83 thirds. Man, he's made $8 million this year. What's up, man?
Hey, you're doing your live stream on the Derby, right?
Yes, I am.
Well, it's interesting, how you talk about the things that are organic versus, whatever.
Right.
I was at the 1987 Derby with Ali Sheba won, but she was diagnosed, diagnosed with that epiglottis disease, whatever it is, had surgery, and then came back and won.
Huh.
And that was 1987. So I'm trying to figure out, what's going on with this injury, because I think they screwed around with the lanes because of the numbers.
Sure.
The first horse is 2, 3. I think that's obvious, but you said something special is going to happen. I mean, why Baffert could finish 1, 2, 3, right?
That'd be incredible. Yeah. So
that would be 6, 6, 6, wouldn't it?
How would that be 6, 6, 6, 1, 2, 3?
Or no, I thought who were the 3 horses that you had for 6 in their lanes? I thought it was his.
All three of his horses. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, all 3 of his horses, all 3 lanes have 6 connections. Okay.
Right, so that's probably one scenario because that fits into the Tiger Riddle, right? He finishes. You said something special is going to happen. The first thing when you said it, the first thing I thought of is he was going to finish 1, 2, 3.
It could happen. It could happen.
I don't think they're going to change it around for. I think that's already been determined. I think they're just trying to make sure they win the most amount of money, right?
Sure.
Isn't that? It's not about like, oh, we're gonna have somebody else win, but that's amazing to listen to you talk about this for like now an hour, and how many connections horses have. It's not even. It's mind-boggling.
Well, when you look at it year after year, you'll always see how a bunch of horses will connect to the race and go, okay, this is why these horses are in the field. But you have to pick out which ones are the ones that have the right riddles to win. And it sounds like you've been here. So you saw how all of Baffert's jockeys had amazing alignments if they did win.
Right, that's mind-boggling.
Right.
If anybody knew, I bet them all. I bet them all to finish one place show and just leave it to that and just see what happens.
Sure, but
there's too many ways to go with this. I would just go with that and just bet it, and if it comes out great, wheel it or whatever.
Absolutely.
But
I'm just being real thorough so everyone can see every different little thing that we're looking at here. And then I think there's probably a few horses that you might want to take a run with.
The problem is you start betting on a lot of horses, then when it's all said and done, if you don't catch one, you're going to lose, right? That's what they're hoping for.
Well, there's different types of cards you can put together, though. For placing, and you don't have to bet a lot to win a lot. So
I'm going to try to go back to Decode Ali She because I was at the Derby that day in the infield and it won. It was a long shot. It almost collapsed like twice during the race and wound up winning. And it was a pretty big payoff. One of my friends bet $100 to win on the horse, so it was like a big deal. Won $940. Paid $1880. So it was amazing to be in the infield for that race. But never looking back now, I didn't know it was rigged.
Well, that's a lot of money back then because I'm just thinking minimum wage in the late 80s where I live was like around $2 an hour. So.
Well, he read an article in the paper on the flight. We flew into Kentucky, Cincinnati. He read a paper. He said, he said, I'm going to make one bet today at this race. I'm betting $100 on Ali She to win. And then he wound up winning $940.
Awesome, man.
But just trying to connect it. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling to think all these people connections and dates and times and their race records and jockeys and stuff. Holy crap!
Yeah,
it's. So I'm just gonna bet Baffert is 3 horses to one place show.
Yeah, I think that's a smart strategy. I'm definitely going to advise that.
Whatever, okay, there's other things to bet on, right?
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. Later. Okay. Yeah, in case you got here late, I mean, we started with the Baffert horses, and again, we'll review it at the end, but I'm just being thorough, just so you can see how it is. You can always use this knowledge in the future. So here's the horse that got subbed in for Omaha Beach. Again, Omaha Beach got scratched May 1st. Omaha Beach equals 51, like 5-1. The jockey. Nothing screams out about the jockey's name. The trainer, he's got the 54 connection. We do have a race on 5-4, May 4th. This jockey has 42 third place finishes. If he got third place, he would get his 43rd. Kentucky's 43. So this is the mystery horse, the late sub. Let me look at the trainer too, just because I didn't do that. Where's he at? Gustavo Delgado. Okay. Nothing screaming out there about his places this year. Well, oh, wait. It's going to be his 43rd start, though. That's interesting because Kentucky's 43. Okay. So that I think we can understand why he got subbed in here for the Kentucky Derby, the late scratch, the last horse. Okay. I'll look at it again. If you want to get cute, you can break down the numerology of Kentucky. It does break down to 11. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm watching your live, and you haven't talked about the guy who he's about to tie. His name is Ben Jones.
Oh, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. He did it in 52. Well, what were you going to say though? Maybe you got something I didn't.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Say what you're going to say. Maybe you got something I didn't cover, but I covered that early.
Yeah, I was just seeing like the 67 years it'll be apart, and it's 2019.
Right.
I was reading this article. He was in barn 33. He has 15 Triple Crown races and 15 Breeder Cup wins, and he's won the Dubai World Cup 3 times. So that's a total of 33 wins.
Right.
And yeah, and I seen this was an article on 5-1, and there was another article too. I was calling to see if you seen. It was by a guy, Neil Greenberg.
Okay.
The title of the article is from the Washington Post. It's titled "Here is the Bob Baffert horse that will win
Improbable
the Kentucky Derby."
Yeah.
Okay. Because they released that on 5-1, and then one of them had the 5-1 odds.
Right. Yep. You haven't been here for the whole Decode, have you?
Dude, I'm working on baseball right now. I was just making sure
Okay,
I appreciate it.
But yeah, all 3 of the Baffert jockeys have amazing alignment. So if you want to go back when this is over and watch the beginning, because that's where I hit all that. I hit all the most important stuff at the beginning for people who don't have all the time. But yeah, Baffert's got it going on this year. Robert A. Baffert equals 241. It's the day leaving 241 days left in the year. That's the 53rd prime. 2 of his horses got the 53 Gematria. So anyway, I'll review it all at the end too. But
yeah, with the Ben guy, are you gonna measure from his birthday? Because I just found it wasn't there a riddle with
it's 145 days, or it's 124 days after his birthday, because his birthday is December 31st. He died June 13th.
Oh, all right, you got it all covered. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate it though. All right. See you. Okay, he's going after the baseball. All right. Okay, cutting humor. Oh, this is actually the horse. Oh, we got another caller here. What's going on, man?
Exact.
What's up?
You know what I find interesting about this Ben Jones? I was talking to my buddy out in Zoda who uncovered that earlier before you even did the decode. But Ben Jones is the same last name as Bobby Jones, the Grand Slam. Just give it some thought.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I just want to make that connection.
All right, and, I do appreciate that.
I got a little tip, so we just got to be, maybe somebody might be injured, but I don't want to say too much. But that's all I got to say.
All right. Peace. Thanks, man. Yeah. Okay, so it's Mikey Smith that got put on this cutting humor. They changed jockeys for this horse. He's the guy who won the Triple Crown. There's no numbers for him, the jockey this year, that really stand out. He does have the Tisha B'Av birthday. Tisha B'Av, August 10th and August 11th. He is 53 years old right now. Big number on the race. The trainer, Pletcher. He had another horse that we just looked at, didn't he? Yeah, so Pletcher. Again, what's interesting about Pletcher, the trainer, is this race is 53 days after his birthday. He's got the 53-year-old jockey. It's also a span of 54 days with the 5-4 date. So one of his horses placing would be in the mix. I'd say this, if it's not all Bob Baffert this year, Pletcher has a very interesting thing going. Also, his date of birth can be written 26/6, kind of like 266. And we're in the time of the 266th Pope, and Catholic's 145. So he's born in 67. So this is probably the next most interesting trainer. It looks like if one of his horses were to place, it would probably be second. And it does seem that this jockey, Manny Franco, between his 2 horses, Manny Franco's got the more interesting thing going on with the 124 name race on the 124th day of the year, 56 Kentucky Derby. So I'd be more on the Manny Franco spinoff horse than I would be on cutting humor based on the numbers. Where did I go? Did I skip? Okay. Country House. This jockey also has Gematria of 124 with the race on the 124th day of the year. Again, this could just be the reason they're in the race. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win anything. The way his birthday lines up, not nearly as interesting as the other jockey with the 124 thing. He didn't have any numbers in his first, second, or thirds that made him look like he was going to place. So that's a long shot horse. One of the Mott horses. We checked out Mott already. The Plus K Parfait. This jockey's got the 67 connection. Again, the 19th prime number. He's also got that 266 connection. Just makes me think about the potential Catholic riddles. The trainer, he's got 56 like Kentucky Derby and 70 like Kentucky Derby. So that's a little bit interesting. Let's look at his numbers real quick. I forgot to put all the trainer numbers in here. His name again? Brendan P. Walsh. Okay. He's at 19 wins. Oh, look at that! If he got a second place, he's got 19 in first and third. Caller?
Hey, I just wanted to bring up something to your attention. There's a big news story going on right now of 23 horses that died out in Santa Anita, and it's like taking the horse racing world by storm.
How many died?
23.
23 in Santa Anita.
Yeah, there's an article by the USA Today that came out just a couple hours ago, and it highlights one specific horse, how it died on February 23rd. It was the 19th horse to die on the racetrack. So there's just a lot of numbers there. And it's the big news story of horse racing right now. So I don't know if it ties in.
February 23rd is the 54th day of the year. And we have the race on 5/4, May 4th. So, okay. We'll take a look at this. I appreciate it.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for all you do. I got a podcast. I'd love to have you on sometime, but I know you're busy. So thanks for what you do. Talk to you later.
All right. Call me back. All right. Take care. Okay. So February 23rd, 223, Masonic 223. But 54th day of the year, that's interesting in light of the race being on 5/4. So we'll take a peek at that once we get through this, just see if there's any other clues there. Gray Magician. Again, this is that horse that has the 216 connection. This is a 50-1 horse that I saw a lot of experts saying was worth a small bet on, just because it can be explosive. But what stood out to me about the horse was the 216, because 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. And it seems that the riddle's all about Baffert getting his 6th at age 66. So the jockey here, Drayden Van Dyke, his name's 63, kind of like 6 3 times. 61's the 18th prime. 18 factors into 6 plus 6 plus 6. Peter Miller. There wasn't any stats for Drayden Van Dyke that went along with the race. Let me see Peter Miller. I heard all the experts saying the same thing about this horse. This is the one to put a few coins down on because it's the biggest wild card on the track. 50-1. Let's see. There's a lot of Millers. Where's Peter Miller? There he is. All right, 22, 26, 19. None of those numbers go with the Derby tomorrow. But that 216. His upcoming birthday is in 151 days as well. 151, the 36th prime. And 216 equals 6 times 6 times 6. Again, the horse's name is 216. All right, Master Fencer. Seems to also have a French guy on it. Nothing screaming out with the numbers. The trainer, his name in the most pure cipher is 54, like the day of the race. He's also got that 216 thing going on. Sunada. See if I can pull his name up real quick. Japanese guy. How do you spell his name? Koichi Sunada. Koichi Sunada. Stats. I was having trouble getting information on this guy. Maybe he's like new in the sport. I don't know. His information seems to not be out there. So I don't know. That 216 though. It's the one thing standing out about him. Okay, so now the date the horses were born. So remember how this is all about 666 seemingly? Look at Game Winner's birthday. March 6th, 36, like how 666 is the 36th triangular number. And remember, the most interesting jockey alignment is Game Winner by far. The race is 1,154 days after the day he was born. It's a span of 165 weeks. Scottish Rite 165. Roadster, the other Baffert horse, born April 23rd, the 113th day of the year. Kind of like how Baffert's born January 13th, 113, Scottish 113. So I'm seeing some Scottish stuff going on in here. It's 158 weeks from the day he was born. Freemasonry 58, 3 years and 11 days. 311, 113. Improbable was born on the 42nd day of the year. Freemason 42. And hold on, we got a call here. Caller?
Hey, Zach, are you online?
I'm doing the live stream. Yeah, doing the live stream right now.
No, real quick, I just want to let you know there's a big fight, title fight, boxing fight tomorrow. Canelo versus Jacob to unify the 3 title belts.
We'll do it tomorrow morning. We'll do it tomorrow morning in tomorrow's live decode.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. All right.
All
right. Welcome. For all the people who are new here, if you signed up for this, you're signed up for at least a month. You're welcome to stay as long as you like, but you'll be able to participate in every live sports decode that we do every day. We do a live decode every morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Right now we're focused on the playoffs. We can look at a boxing match. So, okay, but improbable, the thing about being born on the 42nd day of the year is, 42 in numerology is 4 plus 2 is 6. So I should have done the date numerology on the day these horses were born. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. 4 plus 23 plus 20 plus 16 is 63. 4 plus 23 plus 16 is 43, like Kentucky. 9. 18 date numerology as well. 18 factors into 6 plus 6 plus 6. Here, let me just do that real quick for each horse. 9, 25, 45. This horse born on a 45 date. 45 is the 9th triangular. I got to go back and look at. There's something about Baffert going for his 9th certain type of win too. Also 18 date numerology. Both these horses with 18 dates, which factors into 6 plus 6 plus 6. Okay. And it is Roadster and, well, all 3 of the jockeys are interesting, but Roadster and Game Winner's jockeys are a little bit more interesting. And then February 11, 2016, so 4. This would be a date with 13 numerology. 13 is the 6th prime. Improbable's in the 6th lane. 29 date numerology, Kentucky 29, 49 date numerology, Revelation equals 49. Revelation's where you get the riddle about 666. Okay. Revelation 13:18, 666 verse. Okay. So this is War of Will, born April 17th. That's the 107th day of the year, the 28th prime. Horse is going on a 28 date. Nothing really screams out about the birthday alignment. Tax. Tax has the pi alignment, 3 years, 14 days. By my standards, nothing really screaming out. Gray Magician. This is that long shot horse. Again, I posted all this information. Some of it's not real useful or enlightening, but I just put it out here just so we can scan it together. In case anybody sees something I don't. Vacoma. Nothing really. Actually, what I should be doing is the date numerology for all of these horses, actually. Hold on. I can do it real fast in my head. Just see if there's any numbers that jump. Okay. So nothing here with this horse. I can do math fast if I don't talk out loud. This horse is on a 33 day. Tax is on a 33 day. Okay. March 22nd for this horse, 322. That's by my standards. Caller?
Zach?
Yeah.
The Derby, I would relook at Tax. That logo's got a lot of Masonic symbology on it.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting horses outside of the Baffert horse.
Even Albert Pike. If you go to Albert Pike's birthday from 1809 to the Derby, it's like 209 on the 4th month on the 5th day. Okay. And if you type in Albert Pike, you get 45. Gematria. You type in Tax, you get 45.
Right.
Tax opening line was 20-1.
Right.
Morning line.
Right. Yeah, Tax is a good long shot horse. Yeah, I've been talking about him.
On a 21 numerology for Saturday.
Okay, why are you factoring in Albert Pike though?
Well, I'm just thinking it could be a tribute to Albert Pike. You have those two pillars that could be symbolic of the Freemasonic pillars. Okay. All right. And the color of that logo, it's bronze and green. Even if you type in Shajin, part of the column, that equals 45. Very Masonic. Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, good observations. Thanks, Zach. All right, thanks. Tax is born on the 110th day of the year, and Kentucky is 110. And talked about how it's the 145th Kentucky Derby, and Tax Day is April 15th, the reshuffling of those numbers. So there's some interesting things with that horse. But I don't think they're going to beat any of the Baffert horses. Okay. This horse, again, born March 22nd. Big Masonic numbers 322223. Born on a date with 41, 61 numerology, 16 numerology, 53 the 16th prime. That's by my standards. Gray Magician. This is that 50-1 horse, born on the 47th day of the year. God, you know what? Gray Magician equals 216, and it's born on February 16th. Look at that. That's why they named that horse that. Color?
Hey, Zach, Rob. Hey, quick question. Do you know how the jockeys and horses get their race colors for the day of the Derby?
I don't. But now that you ask me that, something I've noticed a lot is whatever corporate sponsors they have, be sure to run those numbers if you're seeing it on the TV before the day. Sometimes the corporate sponsor name is like perfectly synced up with the date of the event and all the numbers we're looking at. So look for that.
Yeah, I noticed that in NASCAR. So, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, I was just curious about those colors, though, and I'll just put it out there for everyone because obviously we've been having a lot of 17s hit the board, Danny Ainge, Havlicek. So I'm kind of curious if this horse that was supposed to be in lane 17 and is going to be wearing 17 is going to be wearing green and white, or it might be wearing red and black because also Tiger tie-ins with all the different shit that's been going on with him and Texas Tech and all that. So
okay,
just curious.
Yeah, it's a good thought. Yep. All right, I appreciate the thought. Thanks, man.
All right, man.
But yeah, this Gray Magician, man, this horse is interesting in light of the whole 666 thing because it's born on February 16th, 216, and its name is like we just said, 216. So that date, you know what? That date had 54 numerology as well. Born on a 54 date, and the race is 5-4. So if I was going to bet on any long shot to place, I'd bet on this horse. 50-1. It could just be in the race for the symbolism of the 666 too, but it's by far got the most interesting numbers for the long shot horses. So Vacoma, May 22nd, the 142nd day of the year, 43 date numerology. It was born on Kentucky 43. 5 plus 22 plus 16. This horse born May 14th, the 134th day of the year. And was it Louisville's 134, I think? 55 date numerology. 19 date numerology there with that horse too. Getting 19 horses running. Tacitus, this is a real interesting horse. Born on the 52nd day of the year. Born on a 59 date numerology. Also 14 date numerology as well. Kentucky 43, the 14th prime. So that's one of the more interesting horses that's outside of Baffert is Tacitus. This horse born March 23rd, 26, 42, 62 date numerology, Louisville 62, 17 date. Yeah, nothing that's really going with the numbers this race. Cutting Humor, that's the horse that now has the Triple Crown jockey, born on April 7th, the 97th day of the year. Born on a 47 date numerology on April 7th, huh? That date can be written 7/4. We know that Churchill Downs has the 74 connection. It's got an interesting birthday alignment, 11/22. It's got that special jockey on it that just won the Triple Crown. It's what makes this horse interesting. So it's another long shot horse. We're just going to make like a few $5 bets on some long shots. Keep that horse in mind. Again, Code of Honor with the 118 connection, racing 118 days after the trainer's birthday. Born on May 23rd. That was a date with 44, 64, 710, 19 numerology as well. But nothing really screaming out about the alignment. Win. March 20th, 23, 30, 59. 14 date numerology as well. Kentucky 43, the 14th prime. Master Fencer, born on the 52nd day of the year as well. So another horse that had that same birthday. 14 date. A lot of horses with these 14 dates. Speaking of which, here's another. Wait, no. Oh, no. 16 date. 16 date on this one.
Long range toddy. Yeah. Spin off. This horse had some interesting numbers with the jockey. Born on the 49th day of the year. 20 date numerology. 56 date numerology as well. Kentucky Derby 56. This horse was born for this race. Spinoff did have some had the interesting jockey numbers. It's another long shot horse that's interesting. Country House. 29 date. Kentucky 29. May 8th. Freemasonry 58. The 1,091 days is kind of interesting. If you lose the 0, it's a lot like 191, the 43rd prime, Kentucky 43. Last year, Justify wanted 162 weeks after it was born. Always Dreaming, 166 weeks and 4 days. Nyquist, 164 weeks and 6 days. So it's not always the same pattern with that, but maybe what I should have done is went back and looked at the birth numerology of those horses. If you guys stay posted, I'll add some more notes. Let me take this call real quick. Caller?
Hey, Zach, I'm driving, but real quick, I just looked up Tacitus, the name on Google. It has to do with some Roman dude back. You might want to look into that real fast.
Okay, I'll look that up. That's a good thought.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. All right, let's see. That horse is interesting. 56. He was born in the year 56. Kentucky Derby's 56. So Roman times. He was a senator and a historian of the Roman Empire. One of the greatest Roman historians. Now, that could be a clue, right? Because we're looking for history to be made, right? And this horse is one of the more interesting horses. Doesn't mean they have to win, but just having that name in the race, while Bob Baffert probably makes history. So I think that's the joke there. But yeah, it's funny that he was born in the year 56 because Kentucky Derby's 56. So yeah, that was a good thought. Let me see real quick. March 28, 31, 46, 66. No, it's going to be different each year. It's not that. Okay. So somebody asked if we could look at this article about, I didn't get rid of it, did I? I covered it up there. What was it? 23 dead horses. "23rd horse dies." All right, so that story was from April 1st. It's actually earlier this year, April Fool's Day. Santa Anita Park. Santa Anita Park's 56 like Kentucky Derby, 97 like Death. This story came out 33 days before the race. April 1st is the 91st day of the year. The race is on the 124th day. Just makes you think about how Baffert's in stall 33. But again, in case you missed the beginning, we went over the meat of this presentation in the beginning, and then we combed through just a lot of smaller things to think about. This race is on the day leaving 241 days left in the year. That's the 53rd prime. The man who's going for history, attempting to become the second trainer to get his 6th Kentucky Derby win at age 66.
Robert A. Baffert. And what a perfect day for him to do it. 241, the 53rd prime. Two of his horses, their names equal 53. The third horse is Improbable. Improbable equals 48. We have 48 date numerology as well. The date has 21 numerology. That's the 6th triangular number. Good day to pick up the 6th race at the Kentucky Derby. The most interesting alignment by far with the jockeys is the favorite Game Winner. And if Game Winner won, it would be the 7th year in a row that the favorite won. The date also has 28 date numerology. 28's the 7th triangular number. Triangular numbers are where you add them. So if you had 1 through 7 together, it equals 28. If you had 1 through 6 together, it equals 21. The Patriots are going to be there. Tom Brady. Tom Brady just got his 6th championship. Bill Belichick got his 6th at age 66. They just won Super Bowl 53. We got a big 53 connection here. Let me just scroll down again to what we're really looking at here. Game Winner has the 53 connection. So does Roadster. Those are both of Baffert's horses. And Improbable with the 48 connection. And horses outside of Baffert's that are really interesting are also the favorites. Maximum Security equals 70, like Churchill Downs and Kentucky Derby. There was just a skit on the Jimmy Fallon show where Maximum Security won the race. This Tacitus we just learned, that's a name from a Roman that had to do with one of the greatest historians. And I think we're going to see, some of the greatest history in horse racing with Baffert tomorrow. His name has the 21 connection, the 6th triangular number. The Code of Honor equals 118. The race is 118 days after the trainer's birthday. That's been a big number in sports this year. Code of Honor also has the 53 connection. One of the more interesting horses outside of Baffert. War of Will, 124. The race is on the 124th day of the year. We got a couple of jockeys with the 124 connection too. So By My Standards has the 48 like the date. Tax, a very interesting horse, 45. The date can be written 4/5. Vacoma 67, the 19th prime. We got 19 horses going in 2019. It's been 67 years since a trainer won 6 times at the Kentucky Derby. In 67, the 19th prime. So what a year for Baffert to do it. And that last trainer did it in the year 52. When you write out 6 as a word, it equals 52. Color?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, as far as that article with the 23 horses down in the fire,
right?
Roadster edged out Improbable in the last race there.
Say it again. What happened?
I said Roadster edged out Improbable.
Oh, Roadster just beat Improbable. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's good to know.
Oh. Cool. Okay.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. So some of these horses have some interesting riddles. Again, Gray Magician is the most interesting long shot horse. It's born on February 16th, 216, and its name equals 216. And 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. It's possible that that horse is just in the race for the symbolism. Hey, caller?
Oh, crap. I didn't know you were live.
I'm live right now, man.
Oh, I'm out.
All right, I'll call you back.
Do a good show. You're the best.
All right, thanks, man. Okay. But again, this horse is 50 to 1. I'd be tempted to put $5 on it, or $10. 50 to 1. I don't think it's going to win, but I'd bet on it to place. So it's possible it doesn't place, and the symbolism's just there, and it's all about Baffert and the 666 thing. Again, getting his 6th win at age 66. But I do find this horse very interesting. So I got to set up a number that's I am getting charged for all long distance calls. Canada, real quick, what's up?
Hi, Zach. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Am I on live?
You're on live.
Oh,
Oh wow, okay, man. I didn't even know you were on for sure at this time. Anyways, I did a real quick decode. Okay.
Okay.
Improbable has 4 48s in it. By My Side has 2 48s. I'm not even online right now looking at you guys. I did this on my own. Tacitus had 21 in it, and Haika, that horse was dropped as well.
Right.
So I'm thinking for the triactor is Improbable, By My Side, and Tacitus. Just based on that numerology so far.
Okay, well, here, I'll give you a tip. Don't forget that it's the day leaving 241 days left in the year, which is the 53rd prime, and Robert A. Baffert equals 53. 2 of his horses are 53, Improbable's 48. But yeah, I would sign up for the Patreon and watch what we're putting out because there's some amazing alignments with all 3 of his jockeys. So I do appreciate it, but keep up the good work.
Okay, man. First time calling, but I've been following you for a while, so I'll see you soon. I got to get my Patreon up.
All right, very cool. Thanks, man.
Bye.
See you. Yeah, I have Verizon. They charge me every time I take a call that's outside of North America. So I've been getting some big phone bills here. Anyway, I'm going to post all these notes so you can go back and skim through all this. That spinoff jockey was real interesting. That's another long shot horse. But in light of the 666 riddle with Baffert going for his 6th at age 66, the Patriots are going to be there. Bill Belichick just got his 6th at age 66. Remember, all 3 of his horses are in lanes that connect to 6. Game Winner, the favorite's in lane 15. And 15 in numerology is 1 + 5 is 6. Roadster's in lane 16. The date has the connection to 53. 53 is the 16th prime. When you write out 6, it equals 16. And then Improbable is in lane 6. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach. I just wanted to ask you a quick question before you got off. It's not about the horse racing. It's actually about the playoff games real quick.
Okay.
I didn't get to ask you earlier. So is there any way that we can, watch what happens with the Milwaukee and the Boston game and then can kind of predict, if Boston wins, probably Portland's going to win? Just because of that Havlicek connection?
Are you saying because of Danny Ainge connection?
I mean, Danny Ainge, yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, we are leaning both of those teams to win the series, but yeah, that is possible because Danny Ainge does connect those 2 teams. So, yeah, that's a good thought.
And because of that news, I just thought it was funny they were playing on the same day.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
All
right. Thanks, man. Okay, so back to this. Again, all 3 of Baffert's horses are in lanes that connect to 6. And Maximum Security, which is another really interesting horse. Again, it has the 70 connection, Churchill Downs 70, Kentucky Derby 70. It's in lane 8. Again, we have 19 horses racing. 19 is the 8th prime number. Caller?
So we've been talking about repeat jockeys in terms of winning, and in the past 20 years, there's only been one jockey that's won it back-to-back years, and it's actually interesting in terms of the connections there. So Victor Espinoza, who I don't believe is actually a jockey this year, he's the last one to have done it. He did it in 2015 with the American Pharaoh, which is one of Bob Baffert's horses.
Right.
And in 2014, he was on California Chrome with Art Sherman.
Right.
And this year, Mikey Smith, he's the one who's on Cut and Humor. And what I think there might be something there is the other trainer, Todd A. Pletcher. So I was wondering if you've looked into Todd Pletcher's horses in terms of them being ones that might be the 2 or 3, because there's a lot of interesting possibilities in terms of...
I agree with you. You must have missed the part where I was saying that the trainer who has the most interesting connection after Bob is Pletcher, who you're talking about right now. The race is 53 days. Yeah. So go back, look over my notes when I'm done, because I'm going to post them in the description, and just you'll see one of his jockeys. It's not the jockey Mikey Smith who won the Triple Crown. His other jockey on the other horse, I think the horse is Spinoff, if I remember right. That jockey has a really interesting alignment, and that jockey's name equals 124, like how the race is on the 124th day of the year. So I think one of his horses could place.
Yeah, it seems to be that it's just 2 or 3 different trainers, and that's basically whoever is going to win then, or not win, but in terms of take over the top place positions.
Sure. So yeah, I see a good riddle with that trainer as well, and his jockeys. So, yep.
All right.
All right. Appreciate it. Okay, so we were talking about how Tacitus, which is named after the great historian, and we're expecting history to be made tomorrow. Very interesting lane placement in light of it being 2019. Or excuse me, it's Maximus that's in lane 8, maximum security that's in lane 8, but Tacitus, who's in lane 9, because no horse is in lane 1 this year, they're leaving that open. Tacitus is going to be wearing the number 8, and Tacitus is another very interesting horse. And then Code of Honor, again, we've just seen 118 be a hot number in sports. It's the one horse that sums to 118, and the race is also 118 days after the trainer's birthday. So win-win-win because it's in lane 13, and there's so much 6 going on. That's another horse I would consider, just with all the 6 tributes. So I want before we go, I got to pull up this article and I got to scan it again. Well, hold on. Let's also just go over Baffert's jockeys one more time so we can just be astonished by that. But I'm going to be shocked if Baffert's horse doesn't win. So first jockey on the favorite horse game winner, again, is Joel Rosario. His name equals 137, the 33rd prime. His horses are in stall 33 or barn 33. We got a caller here. Caller?
Oh, hey, so we just touched on win-win-win, and I was looking into that horse last night. I was reading some stuff, and something stuck out to me this morning was Trump made a tweet that was, I think it was jobs, jobs, jobs. So that was very interesting to me, the 3 words and 3 words, and then there was some numerology line up there with what is it, the 57 in the standard reduction and the 66 in Jewish reduction. So, and then there's also the owner is named Charlotte Weber, which is a lot like Charlotte Webb, and then she's like Campbell's Soup, and her birth date is on the 19th of November. So I just wanted to add that tidbit.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Just for the record, I did well with horse racing when the only ciphers we knew were the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. That's how I started. I actually made my girlfriend cry in 2014. I was picking her up from school, and I let her know that I bet $40,000 on California Chrome to win. And she started bawling in the car. She said, "I can't believe you did that." And then California Chrome won, and I'd already told her before the horse race that I was joking, that I didn't really bet $40,000 on the horse, but then I instantly regretted that I hadn't because California Chrome won. But anyway, that's how we used to decode, just using the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. You definitely want to know the reverse alphabetic order. We've evolved the study. We wouldn't have known about the Triple Crown, for example, last year if we didn't know reverse. Last year was the 144th opportunity, and we did get the Triple Crown last year in the 144th, so... but I'm just saying, using Jewish and all this, I'm not even sure that those are real ciphers, so I don't know if I would go there. But anyway, this jockey, again, 137, the 33rd prime. The horses are in the 33rd barn. His name's 56 and 70, like Kentucky Derby. And the race is 110 days after his birthday. Kentucky's 110. Last year, Justify won it. Justify's 110. This guy, if he wins, the favorite, game winner, the jockey, he's going to get his 70th win, and Kentucky Derby equals 70, just like his name. So does Churchill Downs. So, I mean, lights out connection. Again, we talked about all Baffert's connections to the last guy who won 6 at the Kentucky Derby. The other guy he's got going is this French guy. And what's interesting about him is his upcoming birthday is a span of 74 days from the race. And Churchill Downs is 74. So he can get his 74th win, a span of 74 days from his birthday. This is the guy that's on Roadster. This is the guy on Roadster. And then the improbable jockey, his name equals 67, the 19th prime, like how it's been 67 years since a trainer won 6 at the Kentucky Derby. His name's 77, like Bob Baffert. And his birthday's August 11th, the Tisha B'Av date. He's got the 266 thing going, like how it's the time of the 266th Pope, and Catholic equals 145, and this is the 145th Kentucky Derby. The Pope's synced up with a lot of things in the world of sports. If you're new here, you'll learn a lot. The Pope is synced up with a lot of things in sports. This guy's won 35 majors, meaning his next is his 36th, and 666 is the 36th triangular number. So all of the connections for the jockeys of Bob Baffert are super interesting, but I would have to say far and away the most interesting lineup is Joel Rosario. He's got the name, he's got the right win total, he's got the right spacing in the birthday, and then the horses, all 3 of the horses are named appropriately. Game winner is in lane 15. Lane 15 has won 3 wins all time. I wish this site was right because it had 5. But Improbable's in lane 6, going for 6. I mean, that's right in your face. 15 has the numerology of 6. 1 + 5 is 6. And Roadster's in lane 16. Again, Roadster equals 53. 53 is the 16th prime. When you write out 6, it equals 16. That's why there were 16 points in Super Bowl 53, and Brady got his 6th ring along with Belichick at age 66. So, I mean, you can just make such good arguments for all 3 of the horses. I would have to put in a card for each of these guys to finish in first. And I'm going to be shocked if it's not one of these 3 horses in first. But I'd bet them all. I'd bet them all to finish first. You can make a good argument for each one. Game Winner does seem to have the most interesting connection. Again, if Game Winner won, it would be the 7th year in a row that the favorite won. Bob Baffert, 77. 3 of those horses have been his. At least 3 of them have. Well, that's if he wins this year. I'd probably throw down just a few bucks on Gray Magician to place with those huge odds and just the interesting alignment and the 666 riddles. If you bet too many horses, you're just going to end up netting out. But if you're putting cards together, I would also consider I'd look real hard at all of these horses right here. War of Will, Win, 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 Code of Honor, Tacitus. Again, you can go over these notes and decide. Use your own mind. I'm telling you who I think is going to win, but I can make some arguments for all these things. So again, just scan the notes. I'm gonna go through and clean up some of the notes to make it more clear for those of you who are new. Just as you read through, you'll be like, okay, that's what that number means. Again, that's why that makes sense. But before we go, there was also, I just wanted to go back and show you something about this article. Let me find it. Is it up here? I know I got it linked in this article. It's this one right here. Okay, let me pull up this article real quick. Okay. So, just get me back up to the ads. We got another caller here. Caller? Well, it sounds like something's wrong with your connection.
Can you hear me?
That's better.
Can you hear me a little better now?
Well, a second ago it was better.
Okay. So I was looking on Bovada, and I kind of find it really funny that if you look at the list that you have up on your screen of like the horses in order is the same exact order in the futures, because you can still place a future bet on the winner, on the outright winner, and it's literally Game Winner, Roadster, Improbable, Maximum Security, and then that Tactus or whatever. In the same exact order.
Sure.
So, I mean, obviously, you know, but it pays out a little better than, you know, than the regular bet. They're plus 400. Game winners plus 400. So just so everybody out there can get a little bit, you know, a future bet in.
Right. Yep.
All right. That's it, man.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks. There was something in this article. Where was it? Shoot. Oh, okay. My lady's telling me to wrap it up here. I guess I'm supposed to eat. I'll link this article. Read through this article. Trust me. There's something in here. Well, again, this is the article where they compare Baffert to the Patriots, who just won Super Bowl 53, and the 666 riddle was there. But there's something else in here. And that's another thing. Favorites have won 6 straight years. So if the favorite didn't win and it was, say, improbable. Hold on, we got a caller. Caller?
Zach, Rob. Hey, right quick before you wrap it up. May the 4th be with you, Chewbacca, and look up Santa Anita and the 23 association to the exact date of tomorrow. It's all right there, pimp.
Okay, so I'm hearing you on the Force thing, and the 4th be with you, and the Chewbacca guy actor just died at age 74. But what?
Yeah, you mentioned 423 earlier. Check it out.
423.
Yeah, may the 4th be with you, and 23 at Santa Anita.
Okay, you got a riddle there for me. My brain is
stamped real quick. It's gonna make sense real quick. But I'm just going to leave it out there as an open shot to everyone to check it out. That's our thoughts on it. I got Roadster, so.
Okay, Roadster. All right.
Yep.
All right,
man.
Appreciate it.
Later.
Okay. Man, there was something in this article. It's a big article here. God, what was it that I really wanted to point out? All right, I'm just going to link it for you guys. They bring up the 23 horse deaths in here. You know what 23 is? 23 is the 9th prime number. The Patriots got Brady appeared in his 9th Super Bowl and won his 6th. There's something in this article about 9 and Baffert. Come on, where's it at? Maybe I've read so many articles. Maybe it wasn't this one. Oh, let me go do what I need to do. I'm gonna pin this post in the description along with all the notes, and don't forget about this post. Come back and check it because I'm going to keep updating it and add more information as I figure out things. And but again, I think I've been pretty clear. I'll be shocked if Baffert's horses don't win. Game Winner has the best narrative through the jockey, no doubt about it. But Roadster and Improbable, their jockeys have good riddles too. Again, the horses are just named accordingly. Some of these other horses to place outside of Baffert's camp could be good to go. And the other guy who has 2 horses in the race, Todd Pletcher. Do a little bit more looking at Todd Pletcher's horses because he's got quite an interesting alignment too. So I could see one of his horses placing. There's one other owner that has 2 horses in this thing too. It's Mott. He's got 2 horses as well, but his alignments aren't as interesting. So, again, I think it would be foolish to not put down a little bit on each of Baffert's horses. You can decide which one you like the most and put the most there. But it looks like everything's pointing to Baffert. So. And then again, my favorite long shot, my favorite 50-to-1 horse to place is Gray Magician. So, because of the 666 riddle. All right. And just in case you guys don't know what I'm saying by in the description, let me go to the Patreon page right now so I can point out what I'm talking about. So as soon as this video ends, you'll be able to watch it again afterwards. You'll be able to click and start it from the beginning. But right down here, you see where it says continue reading? You're going to want to open that up. The notes are already there. I'm going to pin just below it this post that you should read. And I'm going to also post all the other links and information that I think are helpful to go over. And also, I'm going to post right after the video the book. And anyone who's watching this who hasn't read my book yet, you're going to be able to download it. And I highly recommend reading the first 50 pages, because if you do, you're going to know how to do this research on your own. You're going to be, if you're brand new to this today, you're going to feel like you've been doing it for a year if you read the first 50 pages. So wrap it up right there, and do keep an eye on this post, because I'm going to update it and clarify the notes and any other big discoveries. And if anything huge comes across my plate between now and race time, I will post a video just giving you the updated chunk of new information or epiphany that I might have. So look for a new video on the page. And of course, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, we'll start the live decode for tomorrow's games. All of you who are here today are welcome to participate in that as well. So good luck to you. Until next time.